So here we are, probably a month and a half or less until the current Congress leaves office. They leave office on January 3rd, 2019. How many times have we been told that by Republicans that they need control of the House of Representatives, and then they don't get anything done, so they need control of the U.S. Senate, but they can't do anything until they get control of the White House. So we as conservatives and Republicans and libertarians have done our job, and we've given the Republican Party the White House, the Congress, both houses, the Senate and the U.S. House. So any legislation, any piece of legislation can now be passed and sent to the president's desk for signature, which begs the question, why don't we have a reciprocity law for concealed carry permits? Those of you who aren't familiar with concealed carry permits, it's something that I've always been opposed to. I don't think that you should have to have a permit to exercise what is, according to the U.S. Supreme Court in the Heller decision, is an individual right. The Second Amendment is an individual right to keep and bear arms. There's no equivocation in the language. It's quite clear. And that is exactly how the Constitution should be read. As someone who's a textualist, as someone who is an originalist, I believe that the Second Amendment was written so that Americans could keep and bear arms. Instead, legislatures around the country have developed a construct by which people have to get a permit to exercise their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. They're called concealed carry permits. They go by any number of names. But the idea is this. If you want to carry a pistol on your hip and have it in the open, in most states, in fact, in probably all 50 states, open carry is legal. But if you want to conceal that weapon because you don't want to make yourself a target, you don't want everybody in the country or everybody in a mall or everybody in a movie theater or anybody walking down the street to know that you have a gun on you, you get a concealed carry permit that's issued by the sheriff in the local county that you live in. And that's so that you can conceal that weapon. It's never made any sense to me, because why do I need a permit to conceal something that the Constitution says that I have a right to keep and bear arms? So we now have a hodgepodge of these laws all around the country. Some are fairly unrestrictive, others are more restrictive. Try to get a concealed carry permit in the District of Columbia or the city of New York, and it's virtually impossible. You try to get one in Douglas County, Colorado, where I live, you still have to go through some procedures, but it's not nearly as onerous as it is in California, D.C., or New York. Congress has in fact, the United States House, back in 2017, passed a national bill that said states must recognize all other states' concealed carry permit laws. And the reason for that is quite simple. If I want to conceal carry and I'm driving in my car from Denver, Colorado to Chicago, I'll pass through several states. And each of those states may have a different law that I may actually be breaking by simply driving through their state. This is really true if you're a hunter and you are flying to Maine to go moose hunting, and you have a layover in LaGuardia in New York City, and there's a delay in your flight or a canceled flight. So you've checked your hunting rifle when you checked in at Denver International Airport, and when you landed in LaGuardia and the flight was canceled, you went to baggage claim, you got your hunting rifle, you got in a cab, and you went to a local hotel and checked in. You became a felon the minute you did that. And Congress, at least the House of Representatives, said that shouldn't be the case. That every state, just like with a driver's license, my driver's license in Colorado is recognized by all other 49 states in the District of Columbia. So the U.S. House passed a law, I think again in 2017, that said, yes, all states must recognize all other states' concealed carry permits. The Senate didn't pass it. That bill still exists. We were told that if we had both houses of Congress and if we had the White House, that these kinds of bills would be passed. Yet here we are to the countdown of January 3rd, 2019, when Democrats will take control of the U.S. House of Representatives. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in the House will pass a national concealed carry permit law? Not a chance in hell will they do it. So right now is the opportunity for Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, and I get we only have 53 votes in the U.S. Senate, but he could invoke the nuke option, just like they've done with judicial nominees, and he could pass that bill with less than 60 votes. Send it to the White House and let President Trump sign it. We only have, 4 or 5 weeks left? We've given them everything they've asked for. Why can't they simply give us this very simple law that would keep a lot of us from being lawbreakers simply because we crossed a state line? Think about that.